All right, welcome in. We are live today on Thursday. Thursday the 3rd here. And the Sixers went out and did exactly what they needed to do in the end result. It took way too long for this thing to pick up against the just an awful Washington team. But look, the history of Ben Simmons in the first round has been what you got last night. So I don't know where this narrative was built up that he can't do it or is not able to do it. He dominates in the first round. Another series where he had a good, strong series. Danny Green in the first half, Seth Curry around the game. Like, great. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm more thrilled, gentlemen, for the fans who were there than anything else because of what happened over the past year and a half in our country and all. But really, you start to walk that line of being the Knicks fans when you go crazy in the streets that you just knocked off an 8 seed.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you can pee in anybody's Cheerios, man, and then you look for the wart on the supermodel's ass more than anybody else that I've ever dealt with in this city. It's unbelievable, and I'm going to keep talking until you shut up.
Okay, you know what? That's so alive.
Jesus
I
God.
said I was happy for the fans.
It took too long.
I said I was happy
you said it took too long.
Did you see the first
you
half?
lost a first quarter bet,
No,
probably.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't bet anything on the first quarter. Hey, I didn't bet anything on the first quarter. And on top of that, I said I was happy for the fans. Do you want me to run in the street and go crazy?
No, I don't want you to do that. But nobody else is either. You're inventing a straw man, just like you used to back in the day when you had to. We don't have to do that anymore.
I listened to the radio. I was.
Why do you do that? That's your first mistake.
No. People are going crazy. People are going crazy. Oh my God! Oh my God! Like, what?
Name one person who's going crazy.
The entire radio show that I heard this morning was going overboard.
You're using that as a barometer?
No, I'm not using it as the barometer. I'm saying when you combine it with social media, there is you want to talk about the straw man. The straw man is people responding in glee to people saying that Ben Simmons sucks.
I'm not even talking about Ben Simmons today. He's the last person I'm talking about.
But the entire narrative has been about Ben Simmons. So now there are people who have been pro Ben Simmons that are coming out looking for people to fight.
Well, they can come see me. I'll be here all day. Jesus, Jack. I mean, I am so excited for Tyrese Maxey because I really thoroughly enjoyed that basketball game last night. Watching him, watching Dwight Howard, throw in Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons too. I expect them to show up. They have to show up. But I was really overjoyed by this young kid who came into the game with about 4:19 left in the first quarter and injected some enthusiasm into a game that sorely needed it. And I'll tell you what, he has earned his spot now for this next series, in my view, as part of the main rotation. He showed me a lot last night, and I was happy about that.
He's behind you.
Not be Shake Milton anymore.
He put it behind you. Now, speaking of Shake, man, I mean, I still think he's the guy that can go out there and still fill it up a little bit.
You are the only one.
Barrett loves Shake.
You are the only one in the city that Doc Rivers is telling you through rotation that Shake Milton is not that guy.
It's not that. Hold on, I'm just telling you this. It's not that. You have to generate guys that are going to play for specific times during the game. He's a better matchup when you have a guard-driven team. Maxey will get a lot more clock this game also because he's a guard. They're a guard-dominated team. Now, when you get to the players, when you get to a series like you're going to get with the Bucks or you're going to get with the with the Bucks.
Let's not look Brooklyn, past Atlanta.
With the Bucks.
You know, Brooklyn is a guard-oriented team. So is Atlanta.
So Maxey will be more of a threat in that game when they play Brooklyn. But against
only one, man. Shake Milton was falling off of the planet at the end of the year.
Bruh, he was not falling off the planet. They were just
Maxey was working up minutes on the roster. That's why
he's specific to what they're trying to do in their game plan.
My point of it, Barrett, is that you could see this track You could see it from like the last 2 weeks of the season into the first round. He was moving away from Shake significantly.
You know why he's moving away from Shake? Number one, Shake is a draft pick. Number two, Shake specializes in being quick and being, being opposite somebody that, that's a guard that's going to – Shake is more so of a guy that's going to go out there and score for you. He's that type of player. He's going to fill it up from that aspect of it. Shake is more so a defensive-minded guy, a quick guy when you're lining up against the same type of guards. It's always specific to the game plan they're trying to run, specific to the teams they're going to try to play against.
Okay,
Trust
so
me.
You're telling me that the final 2 weeks of the season were the exact same teams that they were playing in Washington? Because
they played the exact same team. Who they played the last couple of games? They played Atlanta, guard-dominated team. They played who else? Who was
Orlando.
Wait a second. Milwaukee is backcourt, or the only difference is they have Giannis. Like the Sixers are a guard.
So when they played against
everybody is a guard.
Shake played more. Shake played more.
No, that was when the whole thing began.
Starts now.
Go back to his minutes, man. Like I'm telling you what's there.
By Rocket Mortgage. Home loans.
All right.
Your life.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
See,
We'll get into it. We'll get into it then when we hit that.
Barrett Brooks and
Oh
Harry
man.
Mays.
You guys go ahead today, man.
And plus
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Your glass is always half empty. I understand.
I keep telling you that Shake has been falling out of based off of metrics, and you're telling me that he's there.
Well, I think of it from
ahead of him.
I think of it from an athlete's point of view. Number one, Shake is not a draft pick, so Maxi's the first rounder from this year. That's number one. So he's gonna get the nod more so than not. And number two, game plan specific. That's what I'm thinking. All right, game plan. You got a guard oriented team. You're gonna play more guards. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's not as though he just fell off the map because he can't play. You can't just stop being a player. You're gonna be that guy. He's pulled this team throughout the season, and then the last 2 weeks he can no longer play. Get out of here, man!
Well,
it's not happening.
Shake is out there for guard-oriented teams.
No, that's not Shake. No, I said the Maxi is. Maxi
he meant to say Maxi. He said Shake, but he meant Maxi.
Maxi.
Right, but Shake isn't playing up front. Shake's not playing in the front. They're both playing the same position.
But we're talking about defensive. They have to stop people, Eytan. I'm talking about the stopping him. Maxi is a defensive-oriented type of guard right now in his career. That's what he is.
No, he's an energy guy now, I think.
He was dominating on offense last night.
He was incredible.
That's where Harry, when the one thing I was saying, like, that's where Harry was jumping in about Maxi. He wanted to talk about Maxi, not Simmons.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to make this about Ben Simmons. I mean, he had a really good game last night. Yeah.
Trust me, neither do I. But it felt Knicks fan-ish. That's all.
Where are the Knicks fans today? Because now are they playing golf? Because they're out.
Well, it's raining, right?
I thought they'd at least win last night and maybe, enforce a game 6 down in Atlanta, but it's not going to happen. I'll tell you. No. I think this Atlanta team is better than people give them credit for. I think they're a decent team, man. I tell you, without Embiid, this could be a real problem if he doesn't play.
Yeah. I don't think they're a problem more so that they're going to win the series, though. Even with Embiid not being there, I think we'll still win the series. But we're not. It's not going to be like a 4 to.
They're going to win it in 5 games without Embiid. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be like they're going to take it all the way down to Game 6. Game 6, Game 6 probably when they'll pull it out. Then they'll rest Simmons a little more. Rest Embiid a little more then. But at this point, you talk about his injury.
Yeah.
When you do that, man, it's not a stability issue in your knee. It's a pain tolerance thing in your knee. That can be a very, very excruciating pain that he can, but he could fight through it. He could still play and fight through it. Yeah. A meniscus is just a little piece. When you tear your meniscus, it's like a little layer in between your bones and your kneecap, and that little thing can be the worst feeling in the world. I did it on several occasions throughout my NFL career. And I even did it when I stopped playing and I started playing these celebrity basketball games that I would, irritated sometimes. And man, it's the worst feeling in the world. The worst feeling in the world.
Were you like Myles Garrett in that celebrity basketball game?
Right.
Did you see that?
No, what happened?
Apparently the Browns are out on Myles Garrett playing basketball.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
I
you
can
gotta
believe it, man.
research it. It's pretty funny.
Well, I used to play in these games, back when I was playing with the Eagles, in those charity basketball games for the Eagles, and we had a squad, man. I remember we had Brian Dawkins, Bobby Taylor. We had a legit team. I can remember throwing an alley-oop to Brian Dawkins from half court, and he caught it, and when he dunked it, his arms were parallel with the rim. That's how good an athlete Brian Dawkins was. I mean, unbelievable athlete.
I believe
Bobby
it.
Taylor too. In fact, Bobby Taylor played for Notre Dame's basketball team.
Did he really?
Yeah, he played for the team. He's like sixth man too.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was a legit player.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, man, it's a painful injury, and yes, you can make it worse if you play on it, but it's more so your pain tolerance as opposed to being the stability in your knee.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that he's gonna. He'll lose some stability type of strength. It's more so the pain tolerance of having that, that tissue right there. That tissue right there guards, from the bones from rubbing together.
Right.
And when you pinch it or you tear it.
So is it like cartilage more so?
It's like a cartilage, but it's like a little thin piece of I would say like cartilage or ligament right in between your kneecap and your the two bones at the bottom of your knee.
Wow.
And those injuries hurt like hell, but you can play on it. You can definitely play on it.
It's a pain tolerance thing.
Yes, it's a pain tolerance injury as opposed to anything else.
Oh.
So if you get the surgery, it'll probably take you 6 weeks to get back. 6 weeks. If you just rested and you could, manage your pain, you could probably finish the season out with it.
There's always something.
Yep.
Why can't we have alternative? Yep. It's never clean. It's never clean and easy.
Right.
This is The Middle on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, so last night provided some excitement finally as far as the Sixers pulling away. It was really tight in the first half, and then we had that Knicks-Hawks game, which was pretty much snooze fest city for the Knicks. And then late night, all this talk about Nikola Jokic.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but it's much more difficult to play the farther you are from the rim. And we're starting to see Doncic dominate games like LeBron did for a stretch, like Kawhi did for a stretch, like Kevin Durant did for us. And I'm not talking about a stretch, guys, like 10, 12, 48 minutes. I'm talking about for like a couple of years. This dude it's just amazing to see how effortless it is for him to dominate a game. And look, the Clippers don't have that injury excuse that the Lakers do. Lakers say, "Oh, we're hurt." Clippers can't say squat right now.
No, I'll tell you, that was incredible. I mean, this Dallas team, I think they're gonna win the series.
I think so now. Yeah, I think
you?
so now.
I mean, you think about this. We could have the Lakers and the Clippers eliminated within the next 48 hours from the playoff picture. That's unbelievable. I would have never wagered money on that, Eytan. I'm telling you, if you would have said, series wise, I don't know what the prices were at the time, but there's no way I would have bet against either one of those teams.
No, not even those teams. How about, Dallas? I can't believe that they're in it right now. I mean, the way they played throughout the season, they were an afterthought, man. Yeah. An afterthought. But Luka, man,
it's two guys. It's him, and then it's Hardaway. It's basically their offense.
Hardaway Jr. balling, man.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, though. It hasn't really been consistent. Like, Hardaway was absent the last game. And,
yes, he was.
And Kristaps Porzingis is closer to a human trash can than he is an all-star. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're right. Last night in the wins, Barrett, 1,000%, right? Like Hardaway steps up, guys are balling in there. You've got Brunson, you've got some lesser, even Maxey when he's.
I love Brunson too, man. I love Brunson too, man.
It's just amazing that they are so like Luka does everything. He's like the rich man's Westbrook, as far as like it actually translating into wins. Westbrook having all this great stuff going on, looking around, launching the ball off the top of the backboard on playing golf today.
He makes it seem so easy, man. The way, his shot is just so seamless. And he has that old man game, so it doesn't look like he's quick, man, but he, his range and the way he steps back and everything, he just gets there and gets the ball out of his hands, releases so fast, man. I love watching that guy play. Love it. But then Kristaps, man, I thought he would give more than what he's giving right now. We're talking about a guy 7 foot, can shoot a three.
Yeah.
He's just not giving us anything right now.
He was like a unicorn when he came into the league.
Right,
remember all that? Oh, the unicorn.
I'm like, why are the Knicks letting this guy go? Evidently, they knew something off the top. They knew something,
right?
Yeah,
his greatest moment, Porzingis, may end up being when he was in Ibiza with those models, the one with the very large, ample bosom. Remember him diving off of a boat into the ocean at Ibiza?
Yeah, absolutely. Was that you're talking about Brian Williams?
No. Porzingis.
I'm a Bison Daly.
No. Bison Daly was on that cruise, I guess, around the world, and ended up dead, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, did they ever find him?
No, I don't think they found him. And who did it? Was it his brother?
No, I don't know if they ever got anything from that.
That's like an unbelievable mystery.
Yeah.
That's like the guy that jumped out the plane up in
in Oregon or
Oregon.
Yeah.
Harry, I guess I owe you an apology here.
Why?
Because here I thought that I could bring this thing up and talk in the beginning of the show about stuff that I heard, and then you were like, no, come on, that's nonsense. And I fought you on it, saying, well, okay, it is things. Well, it has infiltrated the show. I'm not even going to give you this guy's name. I'm not even going to put it up there on the screen, because the first thing I saw, and look, this is caller mentality. This is Twitter mentality, where you're just angry and you type stuff. And that stuff doesn't always make this show. But when you start out a message, Embiid is a complete disgrace.
Oh, I see it now.
Then, it's it. Like, we welcome you. We appreciate you. We hope you share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another show here, especially when we talk about Embiid. But that's caller mentality right there.
Right.
I stand corrected. I thought that we could talk about it in our own little bubble without it infiltrating, and Harry was right to warn me on it. See, I am not above Barrett Brooks admitting that I was wrong.
Well, if that's an apology, I accept your apology. No apology was needed. I like to battle you sometimes, and sometimes you just allow all these other forces around you to influence your otherwise very clear thought on the NBA.
Yeah,
sometimes. But I did listen to Eytan's appearance on a podcast last night. I actually listened to it this morning. We have to get to this during the show because we might have to rip Eytan Barrett.
Oh, yeah?
Because there was really not any mention of our show. The host who brought him in, the great Coggin Toboggan, did mention Eytan as part of the Mays, Eytan, and Barrett Brooks show on the middle, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. Yeah. Then Eytan went in to go and promote his future appearance on QVC. He even did his pitch. It was unbelievable. There was really no mention really of this show after that initial introduction. I listened to the whole damn 45, 50 minutes, whatever
Did you really?
It was a great appearance.
50?
He went on to rail against the radio business and all the other stations.
Oh my goodness. Now look,
it was incredible.
To talk about my show. I was
I'm on there for 10 minutes.
Shows.
10 minutes, Harry. If I'm on for 10 minutes, I gotta have at least 3 middle references.
Right.
And Eytan and Harry at least twice.
Look,
in
at
10
least
minutes.
they brought
He was on 45 minutes.
At least they brought your names up. They brought your names up. They mentioned your names.
Oh, they did.
Okay.
Yes, he did. When he introduced you, that he did mention the show The Middle with us, and he named our names. And I give him credit. I'm not ripping him, but I thought that you might go into a little bit more detail about what's going on here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Instead, he went right to QVC. He did his pitch. And
right. Well, look, I tell you, that's going to be the big thing. So I only can promote one thing when I start going around and doing stuff about town, right? And guess it's going to be QVC.
That's the thing he's going to leave us for, Barrett. This QVC selling flashlights and all this other crap.
I get a bigger check. I get a bigger check from NBC Sports Philadelphia. Hey, but do I mention it here? Never. Never.
Well, no, I'm not leaving. I never said I was leaving, and I'm not going to leave. You can book it right here. I mean, look, I'm from home, so we're not going anywhere, anything like that. This is easy to do. I'm just saying, as far as the show last night, I was really just brought on there. Like, I didn't expect to be on there that long. It was really just a quick thing to talk about the state of sports talk radio.
Right.
So, look, what I'm going to do now, here's what I'm going to do. Because this is where it stops. This is where Barrett wouldn't even follow up with Cataldi or any other crumb out there who refuses to mention our names on an interview. I'm going to go right back next week, and I'm going to demand to Coggin Toboggan that I go back, and I'm serious, and I go back on the show. Just give me 5 minutes to pump up the middle, all right? That's what I'll do.
Okay, I believe him. I believe he'll do it.
Damn right I'm going to
He actually took over the whole podcast, Barrett. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Well, he's been known to do that.
Oh, man, it was incredible. Hey, he was going back to his days in Nashville and all. I listened to the whole thing. It was riveting.
I tell you, man, we need more of that. We do. We need more of that. We need, not me, I'm just saying, we need more people in this business talking about this business without fear of reproach that they're not going to get, because it's such a transient business. Everybody's afraid to rip because the people that hire all stick together and the people that get hired all stick together. Right. So it's just this huge issue. Look, this dude's still going with Embiid.
I know.
Still going with Embiid. Where were you yesterday when we talked about this is just something you're going to have to deal with, man?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but you're right. We did talk about that yesterday, and we'll probably talk about it again. But like I was saying to Barrett during the break, it's never easy. Like, it just can never be clean and, a smooth sail with him or Simmons. Like, there's either we're complaining about Simmons not doing enough or not, elevating his offensive game when the big guy's down, or we're talking about the big guy being down and how long is he going to be down and can they survive it? It seems to be constant every year.
Well, it's like we can't have nice things,
Right.
I mean, the guy came in with an injury. Why wouldn't you think that this is going to be a part of his career? I mean, it's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. You're
going back to when he was at Kansas.
Like when he was at Kansas, we first drafted him, during the process. He was hurt his first 2 years.
Right.
But I mean, you can't take away that he was the most dominant force in the NBA this season. Right. The most dominant force. Period, point blank.
Well, what does that do for you if you can't play in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, that's all well and good. That's nice. And if he would have played more games, he would be the MVP. But this is when you need him.
Well, I'll go back to what Eytan said yesterday. Shan said it yesterday. You can't make the club in the tub.
Right.
Well, hey, you can't stay in the playoffs in the tub. Because at this point, we need him. He's our most valued aspect on the team. Even more valuable than the coach. But I mean, I'm not going to call the man a disgrace. He's still, a dominant player. You can't take that away from him.
This is why he doesn't win the MVP. This is why he doesn't.
Right.
He's a defensive player of the year, is because the same people, and I'm not validating it. I'm just explaining that what happens is people who vote on these awards realize that you're not going to be able to count on this guy 100% in the postseason. And that, for better or worse, right or wrong, moral or immoral, is a factor in how people vote. Look, Kurt Heelan, the other people that we get, Chris Mannix, like people that vote for this stuff will tell you that he's a force. He's an amazing force, but they can't trust him.
Yes.
They can't trust him. But the problem is that when he's on the floor, it's a completely different scenario for like 99% of the people outside of like Jokic, Doncic, maybe Steph. Wanted to look at that now. I mean, there aren't many people. The big three is one entity, which is now more of a force than anything in the NBA, unfortunately. But that's it.
Yep. And like speaking of Steph, I think he invaded his brother's soul last night. How about Seth Curry in that game?
Lighting it up. What did he end up with, 20, 28?
30, I think 30. He had.
30?
Yeah. I mean, it's, boy, if you could only get that every couple of games.
Oh, wow. Man, I'll take it, bro. And, and they're like, what they say? When he scores 20 points or more, they're 17-0 now. 17-0. Get them going early. Get him going up. And I had to apologize to Shan yesterday too.
You did?
Yes, I apologize on the text chain. You should have looked at it on the text chain.
Oh man, The text chain was blowing up last night.
Yeah, you responded to it. I said, Shan, you're right. He is more than just a guy.
Oh,
remember I said he was just a guy? I said, I don't even know if he's a starter in the league. I said, well, B, I think he's a starter. I said, no, he's not a starter. We went back and forth for about 5 minutes over it.
But you know what, I'm sorry, Barrett.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the irony about all of that is we were talking about Steph in regards to him, or Steph. We were talking about Seth in regards to him being the best fit for Embiid, of all people on the floor.
Right.
Like, he was the best compliment for Embiid.
Draw people off of him.
On the floor last night.
Yep. And he made it happen. I mean, this team played more balanced than I've seen them play in a long time in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, man, I love the fact that if you look at you know what, I saw something from Ben that he didn't care that he couldn't shoot the free throws. And I'm happy with that. We know he cannot shoot free throws, but he didn't care yesterday. He was still trying to take it to the cup and finish plays.
Well,
instead of kicking it out for the most part. He kicked out a couple times, but he was still being aggressive, taking it to the cup, and he was trying to finish those and ones as opposed to just getting fouled.
There
he
was
knew if he
one
just hit the two.
Right, where he had Ish Smith on him, and he goes into the lane, and then he turns around and dishes the ball right in front of the basket to Dwight Howard, of all guys, who also really isn't a great free throw shooter. I know he hit a bunch last night, but I'm like, why not just go and take it and dunk it? I freaked out. And then 2 minutes later, he actually got the same matchup and just went right to the cup.
Right to the cup.
And nobody could stop him.
And it seemed like he was listening to you during that time, too.
Oh, I was going crazy.
All right, we're going to take a quick one here. It's a lot happening on the middle. And it's a Thursday, so we do have fake news. Anybody else? I did get a text, by the way, from Jeff Parles yesterday. So
he did.
Yeah, he was having a lot of connection issues. And unfortunately couldn't make it on the show. But we'll see, because now look, all I got to say is if this dude, East NJ, is not subscribed to the show, he's booted. Right? He's going to come in and dominate the chat. You better be a subscriber of the JAKIB Media YouTube page. See, that's the thing. Like, we don't care. If you subscribe, if you like, if you share what's going on, then you can say Embiid is made of estrogen. You can say all this crap that this guy's putting on here, assuming it's a guy here. But you better be subscribed is all I'm saying.
Yes.
Because if not, then there's a problem. Is that fair?
That's very fair.
Okay. Just making sure. It's the middle. We're back in 3 on the JAKIB Media YouTube page and Sports Member. Perfect.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Jeff Bruder on the stream says, Embiid makes Carson Wentz look durable. Wow. Barrett, you're muted. You're muted.
Embiid is better than Allen Iverson. I don't know what people want.
Look at Barrett.
You're listening to The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
I hate to do it.
By Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
I mean, just to recap what's going on here, there is only one negative element in Joel Embiid. That's it. He's injury prone.
Yeah.
He's injury. Like, that's really it, Harry.
Yeah.
There really isn't another area where he needs to get better in his game.
No, you're right. I mean, you know, the other negative prior to this season was his inability to show up in shape. And he put that to rest. And then you're thinking, wow, this might be the year where he can actually, you know, play 60 some odd games in a 72 game season and, you know, dominate and be the MVP. And he was playing to that level, but he did find his way to other injuries where I don't know that it's even the durability that's the problem. It's just sort of the way he plays,
well,
where he puts himself in peril.
Yeah. Subtly, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, what are you going to do? Tell the guy to slide feet first?
Right.
You're going to tell Embiid? It's the same thing. It's, you know, remember when we had, this is the worst possible example, but it's just hilarious. It will always be hilarious. I forget, who was the linebacker that the Eagles got from Detroit? Fast dude who was just too fast for his own good. And he was just moving around the field, like over pursuing everything. Every blitz, he'd be in the backfield, wouldn't even be able to get a hand on somebody because he was so fast. But that was it. It was like such a major issue where it was like, all right, man, you know, you got to slow it back. You got to
Sims.
Yes, Sims. Thank you.
Something Sims, I think, right?
Ernie Sims.
Yep. Ernie Sims. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. And look, it wasn't a bad linebacker, but he was just he was too fast for his own good, and the coaches didn't know what to do to harness that.
Well, you know, that happens because, you know, a lot of athletes that play that aggressive and physical have a lot shorter careers because of that. They're so physical, they're so aggressive that they put their body through more than the average player. So they go to make a tackle, they're running through people. And then, you know, a perfect example of that, Bob Sanders from Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, the safety
guy. Yeah.
Oh, he was tremendous.
Safety. I mean, for those 8 years, he was the top safety in the league.
So good against the run.
Exactly.
Yeah, out of Iowa.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yep. But he just was too physical, and he knocked himself out so many times he just couldn't play.
Yeah.
You know what happens, man? It's the nature of being overly aggressive as a player, man. And it hurts you sometimes.
Right. So here's the thing. And, like, I get it. I'm not trying to excuse away Joel Embiid's injury proneness or his fact that he's 7'3" and 300+ pounds. And when he hits the deck, you have to hold your breath.
Yep.
You don't trade that for anything.
No.
Because, and I don't mean like literally trade as far as with another team. You don't trade that. Like in this league, you need any and every little advantage you can get from a superstar. And yeah, I'd rather have Embiid than be in so many other situations. Like I'd rather have Embiid than probably be than like every other team, but maybe two. Mm-hmm. And that's Brooklyn definitively. And now I think Milwaukee, but I just don't know what to make of Phoenix. I just think they're too young. But look, it's Brooklyn and Milwaukee.
Well, it's the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. Embiid's presence is because he plays the way he plays. So I mean, you can't take away can't take away that and not think that he's going to be the same player.
You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't. You know, so
yeah,
you know, and you know, and they said it had a lot to do with, you know, as he was growing up, you know, and you know, not eating the most healthy stuff when he was growing up. Even, you know, when he first got into the league, you know, sometimes you can't go out and get, you know, those Chick-fil-A's and all that
Chick-fil-A, right?
So now that he's starting to change his diet, he's starting to, you know, play a lot. But I admit he's more healthier than he's been.
I know.
His entire career. This year, he was more healthy than he's been. He came in and
that's the real frustrating thing about it, Barrett. Right. It's like you're thinking, like, man, this is the year. Like, he came in shape. You know, we've been railing on him for his first couple of years because he never seemed to care about that. Here he comes in with Doc, and he's motivated. He's in shape. He's playing out of his mind. And then all of a sudden, he still gets hurt. And then you're like, well, he'll just get him ready for the playoffs. Get him ready for the play. Boom, gets hurt.
Well, it's the same thing, make you laugh, make you cry, man.
Yep.
You know, my boy Jeff Brewer, the same thing. Troy Polamalu is the essence of that also. Troy, he never lifted weights. He always used like bands and stuff like that because when he lifted weights, it made his body tight. So he used bands, balls, you know, do everything to get in shape without lifting weights. But he was just so damn aggressive that he would run through guys 100 pounds more than him, and he'll take the blunt of that blow. You know, he running up trying to hit a guy, a 300-pound offensive lineman, and boom, he'll make that play. He'll hit him. He'll knock the guy out, but he would pay for that for the next 3 days of being in treatment, you know, getting treatment, getting a locker room because he ran through a guy that he probably could have avoided him and still made the play.
But here's the thing. There really isn't any way for Joel Embiid to have avoided that last a lot. Like when he hits the deck, sometimes, all right, he was racing into the crowd. I get it.
Right.
But, you know, a lot of this stuff, we'll be back in 3 here on the network. A lot of this stuff really is unavoidable, and that's unfortunate.
Yep.
You know, I mean, like.
Yeah, wasn't it Lopez going up to block his shot, and it's just kind of, he was in midair and got sort of contorted and just came right down, wasn't able to really cushion his blow, and he went right down on his hip and his, it didn't look like a knee to me. It looked like, I'm thinking, oh, man, he hurt his hip or his back or something.
But, you know, it's like that big, like Barrett, you know, he's huge too, as far as height and width, right? But height as well. And a lot of times, like the longer you are, right, the higher you are from the ground, the higher a chance that something can twist or bend or go in the opposite direction.
On your way to the ground.
Exactly. Bro. Compensate for your back. Or your
going down the steps is an adventure for me, bro.
Oh, me too, Barrett. Oh, me too. Since I smashed my ankle, I treat every step like it might be my last.
Is that right?
You should see me going in and out of a bunker on the golf course now. It's almost like I need, you know, I'm like taking every step like, oh, man, just be careful here. Yeah, can you help me out of here? Pull me up. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Bro, my grandson saw me coming down the steps this morning. I'm like, I didn't, you know, get all greased and, you know, up, you know, so I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't stretch or anything. I just tried to go straight down the steps and let the dogs out. And he's like, Pop, you all right?
Dude, you should see me. I go down to turn the coffee on at like 5:30 in the morning. I look like I'm 85 years old. My Achilles feel like they're gonna burst.
Right.
It's awful.
Video of that.
You should get video of it.
Right. My knees feel like, you know, they're here.
Yep. And I got to turn the lights on too because I don't want to miss a step.
I feel you, man. I feel you, Harry. I feel you,
man.
Oh, man. Woo. I tell you, man. Woo. It's tough, man. It's tough, man. So, you know, I mean, I love what he brings to the table. I think that he will be back, and he's still going to play a substantial part in this playoff run. I still think so.
I do too.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Eytan, Barrett.
Nothing to write off.
Barrett originated a tweet about the show just a few minutes ago. Did you see this?
Well, for those of you, I looked for the retweet, and there was no retweet. I said, you know what?
I just retweeted it. I just saw it.
Let me tweet then.
What are you talking about? There was a retweet. I retweeted it right after you.
I just saw it, and I retweeted it just now.
And I didn't even look at my email. I said, you know what? There's nothing to retweet. Let me go ahead and fire this out real fast.
I want you to, for the next show, I want you to get the Twitter metrics, and I want you to get Shake Milton's minute. All right, Milton ain't playing over 20 minutes over the last month unless it's a blowout.
I'm texting Eytan last night. I said this Shake Milton thing is unbelievable. and Korkmaz actually showed up too. His other boy, he loves Korkmaz.
I see him out there, got quality. He gave me a straight 10, 2 threes. You know that's good work out of Korkmaz. He gave me 2 threes. I was good. I was like, yeah, damn you, Harry, Shan. You see it.
We all see it.
We all see it.
On the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, so beyond, well, I mean, we did have a lot last night overall. And no, Harry, I didn't do anything in the first quarter. Here's what I did do, and I'm amazed that people aren't live betting. If you bet how you don't live bet, especially in the NBA. Like the NBA is the sport where I would suggest don't place a wager ahead of time and then live bet the heck out of it. But look, there was a time, I'll tell you exactly when I placed it, but the Sixers were down 7, I think, right? Early in the first quarter or somewhere in the first quarter. That dropped to -1.5. 1.5. It also bumped up, like the entire game line was Sixers -1.5. So at that point, you think to yourself, okay, all the Sixers need to do is win this game, and that's going to cover in game. The other thing was, and this was a little bit of a risk, and I did sweat it out, but thanks to, of all people, I can't believe I'm saying this, thanks to Danny Green for busting his ass in the end of that, or middle to the end of that second quarter, and winning the Sixers money line first half. That at the same time was +265.
Wow.
Sixers were down 7 in the first quarter, and their money line first half turned into +260. So that's what I'm saying is that's where I jumped on it. Props, we were all over it. I mean, Ben Simmons dominated his prop bets. So
They were down 5 when Maxey entered the game. I think it was 24-19 Wizards. And the building was dead. There was no energy in the building, and it was just, you just had this weird feeling like bad start again. Here we go. They put the kid in, and he just energized the room.
It's amazing what this kid, he's going to be out there for key minutes, man.
Well, I mean, his athleticism, man. He's so damn quick. There were a lot of times he was making plays just by being quicker than the guy, getting to the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't necessarily steals, but I mean, the ball got away from a guy too much, and before he knew it, he was gone.
How about the pocket pass he made? The bounce pass, a pocket bounce pass he made. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Now, look,
Man.
if you start to look at what this team is on the bench, because some of these guys are going to have to play due to circumstance. Somebody's going to go down. Somebody's going to get in foul trouble. Somebody's just going to have an off night, and they're going to move away if it's Curry, if it's Green. And the two things like think about this, the two things you can count on right now is that whatever lull you're going through in the first quarter, 3 minutes left, you can bring in Tyrese Maxey and not only get energy, but you can get points now.
Right.
You can get a guy who can create his own shot, who can take it to the rack. You can get a guy who Ben Simmons trusts to pass to. And then on the other side, I don't know how many people have this, but it wasn't like this humongous fantasy performance that I think me and a bunch of other people expected from him last night. But you still have one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean like this year. I probably over like the last 5-10 years. This kid is insanely good on defense. And think about it. This is the closest that we've had to a lockdown cornerback. This is Deion Sanders. Forget about that half of the field. Forget about Russell Westbrook. Now, he's going to get some help with Simmons, especially playing the 5 behind him. But my point being is that you can essentially put Thibault on one of the top 2 threats. And for the most part, not entirely, exhale and say, okay, we're okay here.
Got it covered. Yeah.
We're okay here. Now, look, Dame Lillard, James Harden, that's a different story, but I at least trust this kid.
No, that's exactly what I was saying yesterday. I don't know what the over-under was of how many steals he was going to have, but I was talking steals and blocks. That's a safe bet to me, man. Because I saw yesterday he had like 3 or 4 steals. I mean, he's unbelievable how long he plays and getting in passing lanes and then man to man. You know, even Harris, you know, Harris turned his defense up because he saw what Thibault and Max were doing, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's infectious. It's infectious.
No,
Yeah, it's incredible what youth, like talented youth, can do to to the rest of the roster. I mean, Dwight Howard was great last night.
Yep.
He really was.
There were minutes to be had for Dwight across the board, right? And even when they went small and they started that small lineup, you still knew that there were plenty of minutes, you know, across the board for these guys. And it's, look, I mean, there's nothing wrong, even George Hill to a lesser extent, but really there's nothing wrong with going 3-4 deep in a playoff rotation. A lot of times, it's tightened it up. You know, you go 6, maybe 7. Yeah, because a lot of teams don't have guys you can do that.
They don't trust the 10th guy on the bench.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fact that you could trust, look, and I'll go back to Barrett's boy here. Having Shake Milton come off as like the 8th guy on the bench is a luxury.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And look, that's a testament to Maxey moving up in the rotation and all, but still, it's not like, to Barrett's point earlier, it's not like Shake Milton forgot how to play basketball. It's just somebody else moved up him on the roster in the rotation. But damn, that's a pretty good dude to have as 8th guy coming off the bench.
Remember when the fan base was so enamored with Mike Scott as the guy coming off the bench, and he played well at times a year or two ago. But now look how far down the rung he has gone. You know, where he was like the 6th or 7th guy on the team a year or two ago. Now look what they got.
He's the people's champ, you know, and it just goes to show how we were talking about this earlier on going into the playoffs on how deep that, that the Doc can go. Doc can go, 8, 9 deep right now comfortably and understand that they can give him quality minutes.
Right.
He can actually put another 5 out there and rest his starters.
Yeah. I remember when Embiid would come off the court in the second quarter, like to rest him for 3 or 4 minutes, they'd have a 7 or 8 point lead. Within 2 minutes, they're down 5.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
They were not a really good team. They were barely a playoff team without Embiid. 22 games. And you look at the sample size without him. And the crazy thing about it this year, more so than I think in years prior. And again, it's a testament to just how two-way domination you get for Joel. But the only thing that really dipped was the scoring. Like the defense, the rebounding, the defensive efficiency, whatever metric you want to use, not a lot dipped or even dropped off. But they were like 7 points per game worse, as you would expect, without Joel Embiid. Now, that was a concern going into last night. And look, yes, it's Washington. Okay, you had your way with it. But to put up a $130 on any team without your main source of offense, it's just a good sign. Like, you don't have to be in the streets going crazy.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a good sign.
Right.
Something to build off of.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we don't need any cussing.
Now we just started
fussing.
the show, Barrett.
Right. Now, look, we don't need no cussing, no fussing, no.
I'm not banging pots and pans out on my driveway, because they needed to take care of business. They did against an 8 seed. They did it in 5 games. Had Embiid not gone out, it would have been a sweep. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
It's a shame it wasn't, because it would have bought him some more time, but still. Now, what is it? Sunday at 1:00, I think is the tip.
And that's another thing. Oh my God, Sunday at 1. 1 seeds usually don't get the benefit of the doubt unless in the second round that 4 or 5 seed is electric. Like if they were playing the Knicks, it would not be a 1:00 Eastern game because it's the Knicks and it's the Sixers. The Hawks just don't rate. They don't. Now that's not me. They're just not interesting. They've got Trae Young, who's super thrilling.
I love watching him.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love watching him. But they're really not an interesting team. Like Clint Capella doesn't jump out. He doesn't have this gigantic personality. He's throwing down on everybody. Nobody can point out Kevin Huerter in a lineup if their life.
Collins.
John Collins is having he just had a great series, and he's having a great year betting on himself. But again, he's a guy that kind of just blends in if you're not following closely. They just aren't really super exciting. And the league knows it. The league knows they can't sell Atlanta.
And that Collins guy turned down a pretty good offer from the Hawks. I'll tell you, that is a major wager on himself.
Chris Paul just did the same thing in Phoenix, by the way. He just turned down a major option.
Wow.
To stay with the Suns. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to stay with the Suns and rework a deal, et cetera, et cetera. But, yep. Chris Paul might be on its way out.
Well, as long as he wins, as long as they win game 6.
Whoever pays him at this point, it's probably going to be Phoenix if they can. A lot of times we see this, right? You opt out, you're back in, but it's just the first step to removing himself from this current contract. That's all.
Wow. I'm
37
looking at
years, $46 million per 3 years.
So you guys are really thinking that that the Hawks can beat the Sixers in a series without Embiid.
With no Embiid?
Yes. I can't.
I think it's possible.
I don't. I can't see it.
Well, the Hawks are better than Washington, and it's really not that close. Washington had that game last night for 23 of the first 24 minutes, and the Sixers were trying.
Yeah.
Like Ben Simmons, Tobias, these guys they weren't just going through the motions like, all right, man, we're going to close this game out.
Bro,
you get a guy like
I like this Hunter kid, too, for Atlanta. The kid from UVA. He's a Philly guy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he went to high school in Philly. Yeah.
Oh, get out. Okay.
He's a good player.
Well, Corey brought him up yesterday, right? DeAndre Hunter, you're talking about. He brought him up yesterday about him versus Thibault.
Right.
He's only 23, man. He's going to be good.
Yep.
He's definitely going to be.
I tell you, Hachimura is going to be good, too, for the Wizards.
Yeah. The thing about it is he's so streaky, man. He is so like that dude could drop 40 and then come back and drop 30, and then you wouldn't hear from him in a week.
Well, where did he go to school at?
Gonzaga. He went to Gonzaga. Yeah.
I just don't. I'm looking at the Hawks, man. I think we match up well against them. That's all I'm saying. I think we match up very, very well against them.
Well, what happens with Capella? I mean,
if there's no Embiid,
Ben Simmons versus Capella is not one that I like that matchup.
Ben Simmons versus Capella. It wouldn't be Ben Simmons.
Well, who's playing the 5? Are you going to go heavy with Dwight?
Yeah, you.
How many minutes can you go with him?
Right. You're going to need 30 some odd minutes.
Yeah.
Dwight. This is the leading.
Yeah, there you go.
We're talking about the leading rebound. Look, Russell Westbrook got 20 plus when Embiid was out. No, you're right. I think ultimately the Sixers would win, and I would even bet that the Sixers would win. But this is not an easy one. I think again the Hawks are kind of easy to overlook.
Yes,
but they're a sneaky good team.
Yeah,
manhandled New York. Manhandled them.
They're easy to overlook because they're leading guys like this, slight 5'11". He ain't 6'1" or whatever they say he is. He's like smaller than Iverson to me.
I don't even like to look at him, man.
Why? You don't like his hair.
I don't like his hair, and I don't like how chippy he is, man. I'd be wanting to smack him.
You would love him if he was on your team.
Seriously. Oh, this is it right here. Think about that.
Like, I can't get over you. You love Shake Milton, and you don't like Trae Young.
He's too chippy, man. Like I saw him pushing guys yesterday. They were just letting him push him. Like, dude, I don't care that you're small. Don't push me. He was just pushing guys out the way, man.
This is something else, man.
I hated that, man. I was looking at
turn of events.
Yeah. I could not believe. I mean, he was pushing Julius Randle out the way, Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
Like, move out the way.
Get out.
Like, he's going to shoot a free throw. He's elbowing him. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
What is this dude doing? Why are they letting him do this?
He was pushing off like Seth Curry pushed off last night, and they call a foul on him, and the announcers went crazy.
Oh yeah, that's not a foul. That's not a foul.
Seriously, there's nothing wrong about
being fair.
There's nothing wrong. Like what's wrong with Trae Young? He's like the most harmless star in the NBA.
No, he's not. He's a little. I was about to say something I can't say. On yeah.
It's a nice radio edit there, Barrett.
Right. Why don't we break and you can say it in the break.
Okay.
We're back in 3 on the network, still live here on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, live and local from the Fritz and Being Cooley Law Studios here in Philly, back in 3 on the network. Go ahead. Tell everybody that you think he's a little bitch. Go ahead.
He's a little prick, man.
Oh.
He is, bro. He's a prick.
What Trae Young?
Yes.
You got me defending Trae, like attacking Trae Young? Come on.
Right. I just don't like him, man. I would seriously put my best defender on him, and I would dare my guy to let him score. You better not let him score. You better, whatever it takes, take him out the game. I just don't like his way he carries himself.
You sound like that drop we used to play of Sidney Crosby. You don't like him?
Him
Why?
too, yeah.
I don't like him.
Right. I just don't like him.
Yeah.
He's never done anything to me. He's never done anything to my birds. But I just don't like him. Just don't like him.
Seriously? That's so random. Really? I can understand like Draymond or some irritant.
Yeah.
Howard before he was here. You probably love Dwight Howard, don't you?
Draymond is an irritant.
No. Yes, he is too.
Yeah.
He is too.
But Trae Young is not. Jeez, man.
So guys, you think let me ask you guys this. You think that they're talking to Goddard about making some money, redoing his deal. 26-year-old tight end. What are the chances you think that that we're gonna keep the other guy?
Zach Ertz?
Bro.
Yeah.
No.
0.
So why isn't he gone now?
I think they're trying to work something out.
A deal with him to take lower money? Oh.
No, I still think they're trying to work a trade, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. But from somebody that I trust that's down there that covers the team and all, and has some relationship with Zach, it looks like there is no repairing the relationship between Zach Ertz and Howie Roseman.
I could believe that, man. I can definitely believe that. And that's a terrible thing, man, considering the fact this kid is still talented.
Right.
He may not be the number 5 best tight end in the league, but he's definitely up there top 10. And they just, how is this organization dealing with players like that? It's going to get in one of those instances where it will no longer be a destination point for free agents if they keep being the way they are.
Now, Ash is bringing up an interesting point on the stream, Barrett. Are you a TJ McConnell honk? Are you a big fan of TJ?
No.
All right.
I disliked him also. Pat Beverly too.
You're listening to The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket.
Taj Gibson is an irritant too.
Yes.
Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, final couple of minutes here on the network. We'll take a quick one in 2 and be back for our second hour, fake news and some other stuff. Let's get these likes up, man. Come on, that's all we're asking. That's all we ask for.
Now, how does that work, Eytan?
This is free content that we provide. So if you're watching right now on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, which we see a bunch of people, you go right to the bottom of the video, and you can see a thumbs up, which is a like. You can see the share button, which is a way in which you can share this all across your social media platforms. Just let people know, hey, I'm in here. And look, you all are stars of the show as well. The play actions, the Ashes, the Adams, exploits, the Muhammads, the Brooders, everybody, the Joeys, like you all are stars of the show as well. That's why we have this up and available to you. So that's a huge help. That's really the best way that you can help this show and help the channel as a result is just pound. That's why you always hear smash that like button, pound that like button. That's really what helps us more so than everything. And then, of course, you just want to make sure that you are subscribed, which is below that. And then the notification bell. That's key as well, right?
Right.
You want to have that notification bell on so you never miss the start of the show. You're going to get word of, oh, that's right, the middle. Harry, I can't find you anywhere. I miss you back on the Fanatic.
I love that. I love that.
Hit the damn notification bell on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, and you won't know where to miss us anymore.
I love that. Now, explain to me and everybody else how the likes, how do they work for us?
YouTube will repopulate and put out for more people to see that aren't following. The more it's liked, the more people. Look, YouTube, unlike Twitter, rewards you for keeping people on the site. So help us. We're back in. That's all. That's all. Quick break.
Yeah.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor, Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Bookit.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
So is Parles going to join us today?
I don't know. I was just looking at that, trying to see if he's going to come on. If he does, not sure.
I'm looking forward to this Denver-Portland game tonight.
Me too, man.
8 o'clock start.
Yep. It's really hard to tell.
I just figured it out.
Barrett's in the chat.
I see. I was
We're
trying
all
to chat.
in the chat.
I was trying to chat from this. You can't do it.
No,
from,
you can't.
So
you have to be in it. Now, did you smash the like button?
Let me smash it right now. Smashing away, baby. There we go.
Will I be able to stay up for the Suns-Lakers game?
Not a snowball's chance in hell.
You are right about that, boss.
You'll get up and watch it later, but there's no way.
Now we're on this podcast tonight.
Yeah.
6:30.
Yeah.
Jeff Roder says, "Welcome to the jungle." Oh man.
It's the Broad Street South podcast. I said it'll need about 15, 20 minutes.
It's fine.
That's what they say.
What
Yeah.
time is it again?
6:30. Because you got a show to do at 7.
Yeah.
Right.
Me?
So that's why I
No.
did that. So, you
Yeah,
know.
or saw the show beforehand. That's fine. I'm off at.
That's great work by you, Harry. That means we have to get off. It's a hard,
Right.
it's a hard at least 6:50.
A hard out. Like Barrett's used to these hard outs, man. No, Muhammad, I don't think it's on YouTube, but I don't think so. It's on StreamYard, but I don't know if they link it to a YouTube. But does that automatically mean it's on YouTube? I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
If it's on StreamYard, it just depends on where they push the destination to. It could be their Facebook page, it could be Twitch, it could be
No.
what have you. So it's just a matter of they have the ability to. Yes.
I'm out on Twitch.
I never did it. Never subscribed to it or anything.
It was built up to be something that it's really not. From a talk standpoint.
This is a Gal Media property.
It's great for streaming games. It's great for that platform. It really is. And you have some talented people on there that are doing that. But it's not for talk shows.
The middle starts now on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
On our second hour, we are awaiting word whether or not the Jeff Parles appearance will happen. Barrett actually brought something up about Zach Ertz and this really boring ass cut day that was supposed to happen, right? Wasn't this supposed to be really exciting? Some names to be out
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Major names.
What
yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Well,
Eytan's microphone appears to be muffled for some reason. Like he's not nearly coming through like he usually does.
That's not what Ron Culver said.
that's good right now.
Now it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess when you turn away from it.
Well,
yeah, this cut
correct.
day or whatever the thing was a bust.
Major.
Yeah.
Total bust.
We were told that this thing was going to be this next great. Oh my God, this is going to be a huge cut day.
Yeah.
And what the hell happened?
That was the NFL's attempt again to own the news in a month where they don't play. But this, and usually when they have those days, they do dominate it. But this was
They
a bust.
absolutely do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nobody of substance got cut because teams still don't know what they're doing. Teams still don't know if they really want to let these guys go. I mean, if they're fitting under the cap right now, why let them go? So I don't
They're
see
about
anybody,
8 million. The Eagles are about 8 million, I think, under the cap right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, they already cut a lot of people. They cut Alshon, Malik Jackson,
Right.
Marquise Goodwin, D-Jax.
Marquise
So they
Goodwin.
cut.
How about the Marquise
Yeah,
Goodwin era? He never played a down.
No.
Never saw the field. And then 49ers cut him after they released him.
Yeah.
The 49ers didn't cut him.
We have a line in the Sixers game. It has
What
been
happened?
released.
Yeah.
And it indicates that Joel Embiid is not going to play.
Yep.
Because the Sixers are only a 2.5-point choice at home.
Yep. I tell you, pound it right now. Here's the thing. Adams exploits, you're going to have to wait until early August, first week in August to see me on QVC. Maybe second to last week in July, somewhere between then.
But isn't there something in early July that you were telling those guys last night?
Yeah, I have to be certified, which is easy.
Certified. Yeah.
All right, we're back in 3. It's the middle. That's just like a quick.
How do you get certified?
You just go through this little course. So what happens with QVC is that the vendor hires you. So you get hired by the vendor, and then QVC puts you on the air courtesy of the vendor. So there are only like 4 people that really work as hosts for QVC, maybe a little more, but not a small group. And everybody else is called a guest who comes on courtesy, a guest of the vendor to talk about the product. So I'm working for the vendor, and the vendor got me in, and then QVC said, okay, he's fine. And then I just need to go through and get this certification.
So it's sort of like QVC blessing you.
Yeah.
Like you can be on our network.
Exactly. Yeah. So they don't just put anybody on the show.
Right. Any schmo just coming in there off the street.
But it's not like I have to do anything. I just need to show up, and it's probably going to be virtual as well. So there's a little bit of a difference.
Beautiful.
Yep. Got to wait. Just
Brooklyn line down to 4. It was 4.5.
I jumped in at 4 this morning.
On Brooklyn?
Yeah. I really like Brooklyn in this. I think that line dropped, by the way. I don't think that opened up at 2.5.
What the Sixers?
Yeah.
Let me check.
I think the Sixers will be more suited to play against the Bucks as opposed to playing against the Nets. So let's go. Let's go, Bucks. Gotta have you.
Yeah, I'm not liking the Bucks in that series. Clippers are favored on the road in what could be a closeout game. Wow.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah. Could that be one of those crazy series, almost like hockey, when you see like the home teams lose on home ice in the entire series? Crazy.
This is something else. I mean, I think Dallas has shifted that, but Kawhi he can have one of these games.
Yeah.
Where it's like 41, but he opens up everything else. Layoff P. I don't know about him yet. I'd like to think that Dallas closes out at home, right? Game 6.
You would think. You'd better.
Memphis, man. Just see ya.
Can't wait for the Boston Islanders game tonight.
Got under 5.5 on that.
Do you?
It's juiced up, so I had to parlay it, but yeah.
Well, now the 5.5.
It should be at 5.
I see 5 over. Over 5 is minus 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under 5.5 is minus like
minus 168 or something.
There you go. So that's moved up. Yep.
You're listening to The Middle on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, the second hour, we got fake news coming up in 10 minutes. And then what else? Oh, I was going to say, as far as Barrett bringing that whole thing up with Zach Ertz and just trying to look at what's going on with the NFL, it was just such a dud that I was going to see if you wanted to talk to a friend of the program about what's happened. But then I'm thinking, well, is there anything even to talk about?
I mean, there's stuff to talk about. Like, potentially they're supposed to Dallas might be severing ties with Jalen Smith, and they just signed him to a big deal. But, they don't think at this point. I mean, the team loves him. Well, management loves him. But I don't think he really fits into Quinn's defensive concept. Quinn's more of a guy that, that tends to base everything more on rushing the passer and he wants great DBs there as opposed to linebackers being in play. So he might be an odd man out. Now imagine him staying in the division and coming to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but could they afford him?
That's the problem. But if they cut him, they'll get the blood of it though.
Right?
Or maybe they switch and make an even trade. Him and Zach Ertz.
Hey, sign me up. If you can do that, if you get Jalen Smith back for Zach Ertz, absolutely.
No question. No question.
Absolutely, man.
Who is Dallas's tight end?
No, right.
That's my point.
Wasn't it? Oh man, hold on. You're gonna know exactly when I tell you who it is because you'll be kicking yourself that you didn't. It was let's see, Gavin Escobar, right?
Escobar,
Yeah, he's just a guy.
Yeah, just a guy.
No, it's Blake Jarwin when he's healthy.
Nah,
I don't even think Gavin Escobar's in the league anymore.
no,
No, is
not
he?
Pablo Escobar.
No. Wait a second. He's 30 years old. All
no,
right. He's with
Dalton
the
Schultz.
Escobar's with the Dolphins.
Oh, he is?
Escobar season.
Well, that's where Escobar should be in Miami. That's where all the
Right.
yayo comes in.
That's right. It's a perfect home.
Right.
Escobar, he came home. No, he's really from New York. New York. But Miami's a good spot. No, that's it. It's Blake Jarwin.
Blake Jarwin.
That's it. That's your hero. Blake Jarwin.
They got Schultz too.
Schultz, correct. So you got a couple of guys. You got
Yeah.
guys that Jarwin's not terrible though. You could make something work with Jarwin. Well, I'd say if Dak Prescott's plus 180 to win comeback player of the year. I don't know how
That'll
that's
be easy.
any higher, right?
Right.
Who else is
their
in- who else
backup
is in the
quarterbacks?
running?
Cooper Rush.
What's that?
Cooper Rush. Another
He's-
ginger.
He stinks.
Cooper?
Yeah, their backup quarterback.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stop. Who else is in the running for comeback player of the year?
Nick Bosa's at plus 350.
Ooh.
Wow, Prescott dropped, actually. It's now at plus 165. Nick Bosa, Joe Burrow, who played a lot last year. He just got hurt towards the end.
Yeah, it was a bad injury, though.
It was a bad
Yeah.
injury, but come on.
Bad
you have to
injury.
be out a significant, like Cam Newton. You have Ben Roethlisberger. You have to miss significant time, I think, in order to be up there.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey at plus 450.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he gets it just because you're going to see the quarterback ahead of him. The sneak play here, though, depending on how good the Giants are, is Saquon Barkley at plus 600.
Oh,
Giants win 9 games, wild card. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, Barkley has a huge year. That might be the only guy I'd be willing to concede could beat Dak.
mhm.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't know Nick Bosa because Nick Bosa come in and have a 12-sack year, and everybody be
Yeah,
saying
that-
his name.
That's a pretty
You
good.
have to have
That's a
that.
really good team.
Right.
He would have to have that, though. Like, in order, Dak could have a pretty good year and still win it. To your point, Bosa would have to have a ridiculous year because it's the bias of the quarterback.
Right. Right.
It's just this bias of the quarterback that I think is, and it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
as a defensive player, you really need to have stats in order to overcome that.
Well,
Yeah,
Nick
and
can give you stats though.
well, stats.
No, you're right, Barrett. It just would have to be like a 12 and a half. Like he'd have to have that type of year in order to win it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And the stats at the
Fine.
quarterback position, you put wins to it. I don't think Cincinnati's going to be able to win enough games,
That's
even though
Absolutely
Burrow
not.
may have a good year and a bounce back year. Dak, I think, can win 9, 10, 11 games, and that makes a difference, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he just got a new deal also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He has incentive too. I can see that happening.
He basically needs to show up because
Yeah.
we know that defense is not going to be significantly better. So look, even if Dak has one of these fantasy years and they win the division, he's definitely going to win this award.
Hands down.
Well, Adam's exploits on the stream says Carson Wentz, and then with a couple of laughing emojis. What are his odds?
Plus 900.
900.
Yeah.
Oh, that's value.
It's value.
Hold on.
Value.
He wasn't hurt. He just sucked.
Yeah. Thank you, Barrett Brooks.
Wow.
Line of the day. Line of the freaking week right
Wow.
now. We need to create a segment. Line of the week. We just let it drop.
They ought to create a new category of an award.
No, we were talking about comeback player. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we were talking about injuries and
Overcoming injury, adversity, How about you just stink and then all of a sudden you get back to playing near your normal level? Is there an award for that?
Right. Oh my goodness, you guys are crazy, man. I don't think he got injured. He didn't get injured. I don't think it was
Ridiculous, but it's
That's
real.
too good.
It is.
Oh,
That is
man.
too good.
He's not hurt. He's at 900, and I think there's a lot of narrative that he would have to stomp down, if you will. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could technically it could happen. I wouldn't bet on it personally.
Well,
Comfortable about
how about
like,
Alshon?
top 20,
how about Alshon
not on the list.
Alshon.
or
It's not on the
D-Jax?
Nope. Come on, man. This is a respectable list here.
Yeah.
Julio Jones is plus 2,500. Watch that dude get traded somewhere and rip off some yardage and touchdowns. All of a sudden, he'd be in the running.
Right.
Now, real quick, before we hit fake news.
What about Garoppolo?
Just below Darnold at plus 1,600.
Wow. That might be some good value also.
There either.
Yeah.
It's not, this award just seems like we had with Roethlisberger last year. It's pretty much handed to him right now.
Yeah.
Well, now, did you see this, Barrett, before Eytan comes back with the story he wants to get to before fake news? The USFL is planning to return to play.
What?
Yes, in 2022, next spring, with at least 8 teams, it says here on ESPN.com.
That's big. Are they going to look at it more so as a farm league for this for the NFL or what?
I'm not
sure. Going to be
sure.
independent?
No, it's a minor league feeder. That's the only way that you can get anything. Because here's the thing: you have to be able to sell people on the hopes that scouts and the league are watching, right, Barrett? I mean, otherwise you're just playing minor league football, which is cool and all. Don't get me wrong, but it's not really like, oh, you got a chance to make it to the league.
It's like I said, like a farm league.
So the XFL returns next spring too,
right?
So they're going to have 2 spring leagues.
Yep.
Well, you see what happened. You see what happened to the last time. I mean, halfway through the year, it just died.
They ran out of money,
right? And, guys had hotel bills they had to pay.
Well, that wasn't the XFL. That was the other league.
The American Football Alliance.
That was the
Alliance
one where,
of Football.
the old ball coach just declared that they were the champions since the season ended.
Right. Did they have a parade?
Man, I don't know.
Man,
that's a great call. Did they have a parade?
I miss the old ball coach.
Well, I tell you tonight, Robert Covington is coming up in 100% of my optimal lineups.
Oh, boy.
Come on now.
Just letting you know that.
Big shot Bob for what? Steals?
100 on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get you. He's projected 35 points, fantasy points, right?
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, what?
No. Look, he had a really good fantasy game for the price point last time out. It's just real life got in the way.
Yeah.
Banked and missed a shot. But I'm just letting you all know Rocco is going to be a winning lineup tonight. You watch.
I'm already seeing the text coming in, Barrett, tonight.
About Covington?
About Covington.
Rocco, you piece of...
Yes. He comes up with expletives that I've never even seen before.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about half the time.
I'm telling you. It's unbelievable. But the USFL, I mean, that's more opportunities to do games, Barrett.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's going to be on TV.
In. Yep, I'm in, too. I am in.
TV, you can bet on. I'm telling you, here's another thing, too. Just like the XFL, there will be odds out there, and the books will not know what to do. And they're going to treat it like an NFL game where, a touchdown scores, we have to move the total up. Mm-hmm. And you're going to see, or down, for example, like after a first quarter, a 3-0 quarter, that total will drop by like 14 points. It did in the XFL. It's mind-boggling how that happens because they won't know until like week 3 or 4. So anybody out there who's interested in making some money as a sports bettor, this is the opportunity. I'm telling you. I'm not going to sell you on the WNBA anymore. That's out.
No, but they also have that new league, that basketball feeder league that's starting next year.
Which one is that?
With high school players, and they can opt out of their senior year of high school. They can skip their first year of college, and then they can still end up getting to the league. It's like Kevin Ollie's involved in it. There'll be lines on that too.
Oh man, I forgot about that league.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a full-on. How many teams are we talking about in that?
That I'm not sure.
Well, that Triple B, he started that, man.
Not Lil B. No. I was thinking Lil B put a curse on the Clippers last night.
Did Kawhi Leonard say or do anything that we should know about
I'm
here?
thinking he made reference to the cooking dance.
Right.
Hey, all right, real quick before we break, because we're going to take a break and come back and do fake news. I am following what I believe to be is a smart play from a betting standpoint here. And it's already locked in because the tournament has begun. But I just need, can you give me 90 seconds or so, Harry, on why I should be okay and not go crazy about this Ricky Fowler top 20 bet?
What do you? Well, I mean, I have him in the top 20.
I know. So explain to me.
He was 2 under early on. I don't know what he is right now.
All right, but how about going into the tournament? Why on a guy who has been the biggest disappointment, recognizable name in the sport over the last 12 months?
Well, because he finished tied for 8th in the PGA. So that shows me that, his game appears to be coming back. That was a really tough golf course. He, at this event, has played very well. He's got a couple of T2s, tied for 8th. Tied for 14th. I mean, he plays this golf course very well. It sets up well for his eye. And I just think his game is starting to come back. So it was important that he got off to a good start. Now, he was 2 under. I haven't checked recently. Do you have the scores up?
No, I'm going to pull it up right in a second. But 2 under, I thought, was going to be pretty good as far as...
He's 3 under through 13.
All right, so he's 2 off the lead between
he's tied for 7th. And I got Shane Lowry in there too. He's -4. Yeah.
But you just like how Fowler has been playing? Is there something about his game that?
Well, I like the way he changed. He's been changing his golf swing, and it's a lot of times those changes take a while to really sink in. But I was very encouraged by the way he played at Kiowa Island, and with his history here, I just thought it was worth taking a flyer on for a top 20.
Oh, just curious. Just curious how the mind works.
Yeah.
All right, fake news coming up next with Ron Culver. It is the middle. Again, on the JAKIB Media YouTube page, live and local from the Fritz and Bean Cooley studios. Want to make sure you hit that like button. You are subscribed to what we're doing across the entire channel. And we're back on Sports Map Radio coming up next as well.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
So, Barrett, I wonder, man, like, do you think, and this is just totally hypothetical, but do you think Simmons has any type of resentment that Embiid gets all of this major love and all this other stuff, and at least he's out there on the floor?
Without a doubt.
This would be so secondary, right? I'm not trying to uncover anything. I'm just, you've been in these locker rooms and egos are everywhere. I'm just curious. You didn't even hesitate on that answer, by the way.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Is Ben jealous of Joel? 610.
Look, if we were on that channel and we had Barrett, I absolutely would make 4 hours out of it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, fake news. Ron Culver's got 3 stories. One of them is fake, and it's on the 3 of us to determine which one. I do want to come back to that, though, Barrett, because we should be taking advantage, and I think we do on a daily basis, of your expertise playing as a professional athlete. And there is something that is just interesting to me, and I'm not pushing it. This is not going to be a new column or anything like that. I'm just curious to pick your brain on it. But before that, Ron Culver, what say you, sir?
What say me? How you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing great.
All right, you guys ready? I have 3 stories for you. 2 are real, 1 is fake. You guys good?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, story number 1. A flight from Las Vegas bound for Florida had to make an emergency landing in El Paso due to an unruly passenger stripping down and shrieking through the cabin. But as it was pointed out in the article, he did keep his mask on the entire time.
Oh, great. Wow. So now we know it was a dude.
Right.
And he's, mindful of COVID restrictions.
But he did say that in the article also.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be some truth with that.
Okay.
All right.
And it's bound for Florida, too. See? There's always a Florida angle.
And that's
right.
That, I think, is the key element right there. Is that
Florida?
Oh, yeah, you have Florida in there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I need to hear more. This is like I don't like the pre-flop. I need to see what happens in the first quarter. I need to hear more stories before making any assessment on that being real or fake. I know that we've been hit with a couple of other crazy plane stories that have been true. So I'm inclined to believe that Ron might be onto something true. But let's see. What's story 2?
Story number 2.
Yeah.
A Danish reporter conducted an interview while doing the deed for a feature on a new swingers club that had just opened.
Wow. Now, I want to know, if this is true, where Ron found this after the segment is over.
Interesting.
Like what type of websites is Ron, researching for this segment?
Ones that he can access in the studio without raising any suspicions.
Yeah. I'm thinking these are sites he needs a password for.
Yeah.
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 Was he out of breath? Yeah, right. Was he out of breath?
Right.
No, but my shoulder's been bothering me.
you gotta stretch your wrist out, man.
Right.
That story again. I think believable elements in the story, right? Am I missing something that was obviously fake?
No, it's very believable,
okay.
Especially in Denmark.
And finally, story number 3. A 43-year-old woman who had gone missing was found naked in a storm drain in Florida just 3 weeks ago.
Here we go again.
She was rescued just a few days ago, again, found in a storm drain, this time in Texas.
That's 3 stories of naked people.
Yes. And Florida.
And Florida, right.
Well, Florida's in 2 of the 3.
2 of the 3.
Yeah, but naked is throughout.
Naked is throughout.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
That's the
theme.
theme.
You want to talk about?
Yeah. Are you not getting enough love at home?
Am I needing a couch to lie on? Is that what you're hinting?
Right.
We can double up as a shrink on this show, all right? I threw my mom's one of them through osmosis. I had to have learned something, right?
Yeah.
Assuming I need like a black leather couch to lie on.
I think yes, with like a tiger rug or something like that drapes on top of it, and some huge mirror on a mantle behind it. That's
right.
The picture you have in your therapy.
Someone was watching porn during the Jake Asman show today.
Or this show. Look, we always assumed that it was before us. Ron could have easily spent the last 90 minutes watching different skin flicks, only to be inspired for fake news now.
Well, I just want to make sure it's not a Kellen Winslow II couch.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that.
Wow.
It's not that. Now, we did. That was the last story.
That was the last story. So is it story 1, story 2, or story number 3?
I think you're going to get us on 1 because they've been true the past couple of times. I don't have anything detailed more reasonable than that of an analogy or reasoning. I say it's 1 because I think you can slide in another one of these crazy plane stories and we'll just believe it because a bunch of others have happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's my logic today.
The third story just sounds really preposterous.
Like too preposterous to believe? Preposterous?
Well, yeah. I mean, found in a storm drain once, but then found in another storm drain, 4 states away again. Like, what is happening there? Like,
right. How the hell does she end up in storm drains all the time?
Right.
And why is she naked and said storm drain?
Right. So I got to go with that being the one that's not true. I mean, it's too many nakedness with too many storm drains involved with it.
Too many storm drains for one story. I'm going to go 3 as well.
Okay. Ron?
So, and all you guys believe 2 is real?
Yeah. Are we wrong?
Or are you wanting 2 to be real?
We want it to be real.
Of course I want it to be real.
Subconscious. That's why we subconsciously want this thing to be real. Yes.
All
yes.
Right, well,
you figured us out.
Let's work this out here, right? Story number 3 is in fact true.
Okay. So
wow.
Harry and Barrett are wrong.
There has been this 43-year-old woman who went missing. She was missing for about 3 weeks until she was found naked in a storm drain in Florida. And then just last week was found naked in a storm drain again, but this time up near the Dallas area in Texas.
What is she doing?
She's probably doing a lot.
Bath salts?
Sure. I mean, she's probably had that running sniff for a while. That's just my guess. So now down between story number 1 and story number 2, whether it's a flight with a naked streaker on the cabin but was wearing a mask, or a reporter, and I will say this, a female reporter conducting an interview while doing the deed.
You did not issue that gender.
I'm saying that now.
Well,
because
it's real.
It didn't matter because that story is real. The fake story is the airplane story.
Wow.
Look at that. And why? What was the reasoning? I could be 100% wrong on my reasoning, but would you just make that up?
No, I had saw on TV that a plane was turned around in India because a bat was in the business class. So
a bat
from the Wuhan lab or the Wuhan fresh market, wet market.
Bat idea and kept with the naked theme.
Oh, not bad. Yeah,
pretty good, Ron.
By you. Yeah,
that's good.
Up to your old tricks.
Yeah, I need to know where that second story came from.
Right.
Yeah, we're back at 3.
I need evidence.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
In the Wildwoods, our free beaches are spacious and welcoming with plenty of room to spread out. Your seat will be waiting for you when you're ready to visit. The Wildwoods, creating cherished family memories for generations.
Attention women of South Jersey and the Delaware Valley. Sign up right now with Our Lady NRA instructor Nayara Andrzak, who will teach you gun safety as part of this 3-hour safety class, which is being held at Delaware Valley Sports Center in Philadelphia. For information, drop an email to info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. That's info@DelawareValleySportsCenter.com. Learn the fundamentals at Delaware Valley Sports Center. You can't miss.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out JAKIB Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the JAKIB Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the JAKIB Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at IBEW98.org.
Double in, you're that guy, bro.
What's this?
Ron Double in.
What did he do?
He sent the article.
Oh.
You are listening to The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
Final 20 here. We have overtime coming up on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. See what's going on tomorrow, Friday. Do we have anything locked in? Do we have anything planned for tomorrow?
No, not for a Friday. I thought we were going to have one of your guests on today. The guy that we were going to have. What didn't we bump somebody?
Well, yeah, Corey. Oh, no. The only thing I was going to say for yesterday was if we wanted to have Mutnansky on, Mike.
Right.
But I didn't know if that thing was still a thing, especially after our team played. So I don't know how much people are still banging around with the Danny Ainge. We can. I can
Tomorrow?
I can reach out to him tomorrow.
Sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. And it looks like Parles is blowing us off again.
Does.
Wow. Was this because Ricky Fowler is playing well and he doesn't want to detract his attention from the stream, the PGA Tour?
I think that's what it is.
Hmm.
He's all in.
Yeah.
He's all in. Guns blazing. He's all in, bro.
You're right, though. I think that's it.
Could be.
How dare they think that they can get some, talk from me when I'm all invested in this golf event.
Is he out on this show, Parles?
Might be.
Wow.
Look at that brooder. Parles is no longer a friend of the show.
Wow.
They're fading Parles in real life, Harry. We went from it being a bit to now being a real life thing.
I think he just ran out of hats.
I think so, too. I think he's waiting. A lot of times you get this date in which a box is supposed to be shipped to your house via Amazon. I think the delivery is running late.
Mm-hmm.
You get that message like, don't worry, the delivery is running late, but it should be there tomorrow. I think he's waiting on this big box of new hats because he doesn't want to get ripped on by the stream that he's been on here recycling the same hats. Like, come on, man, we saw that hat last week.
Right.
Just saying, there might be some truth to it.
No, I think we're on to something there. I really do. That plus the way Ricky Fowler has gotten out of the gate here on Thursday in the Memorial. But did you remember last night, Barrett on the text chain sent us a text with him watching a video on his computer. He was watching the Geico commercials again and laughing his hindquarters off like he'd seen it for the first time. He loves that girl. Look at him now. He's just thinking back to it.
I know.
I admit, man. It's just something there, man. It's just something there.
Wow.
I don't know what it is.
Should the boss lady be a little bit worried here?
Oh, not with that. They say that
You said it's
making somebody laugh.
Yeah,
that turns me over every single time, man. Because
Wow.
I see her. I mean, every time I think of, I'm going to have a big lunch and a
snack for dinner.
So I went to Home Depot this morning and I replayed it in my head again, bro. We all see it.
Yeah.
I'll
Do you
see.
play that for the people that work at Home Depot? Do you show them your phone and get them to
Like, hey,
crowd around?
check this out, man. Check this
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You got to see it. Have you seen this?
You got to see this commercial, man. You got to check this out, man. Can't do it
That's
today.
the funniest thing.
Tomorrow. We want to have Carl's on tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, do we give him another chance? Because if he blows us off for a third time, I think we really do have to ban him.
Yeah, we got to give him a chance.
All right, we'll give him another chance.
Yeah, he'll come in with a great excuse. You know that. He'll come in with a great excuse.
Yeah, absolutely will. Absolutely will. Don't make any mistake about it. All right.
Yeah, there'll be a reasoning behind this.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So quickly, I was just curious, and we talked about this briefly about the Sixers. There's so much frustration surrounding Joel Embiid going down and getting hurt, and I get it. Like, that's not going to change. That's just the nature of Joel Embiid getting hurt. But there is also, we know, this dynamic that Ben and Joe had to work through. These two were not always best of friends on the court. It was not always an easy fix to just put them on the floor and then build three other guys around them. You can argue that this team truly is built right now for Joel Embiid more so than Ben Simmons. But that being the point aside, I'm just curious, and Harry, I asked Barrett this just because I'm sure there are so many of these small mini ego battles that we never hear about because they're always blocked out by these super giant ones, like in the case of the two young superstars. So that's where I was curious, whereas if you think, and Barrett, this is you thinking, this is not you coming out making a statement or anything like that, but if you think, and history is involved here, that because of so much, oh, it's Ben's team, no, it's Joe's team, trade Ben Simmons, he can't shoot, trade Joel, he can't stay healthy, and all of this back and forth about whose team it really is, that at the very least, if there's not resentment, like, man, come on, I'm out here. I'm getting ripped for not scoring, but at least I'm out here. Or maybe something to the other extent, which is like, all right, now this is my team. This really is. And Ben honestly believes, I think it's one or the other. I don't know which one it is, but I would lead on to being one or the other.
No, I think you're on to something. And I think Simmons is starting to figure out as he's, maturing in his game, it appears to be like it's not going to ever expand into what the fans, including me, want it to be.
Right.
He's looking at this like, man, this Embiid guy, he can do no wrong here, even though he misses 18, 20 games a year, and now he's out again in the playoffs. He's beloved. Embiid is beloved, and I don't know that Simmons will ever be beloved.
No.
I think it's
Donovan McNabb and Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
That's what this is. It's Donovan McNabb and Brian Dawkins. Look, I'm sure that if we went back and looked at some film with Mr. Filmster himself here, Brooksy, that we could find a hole or two in Dawk. Like every now and again, he might have missed this. Every now and again, he could. He's a Hall of Famer. He's the best safety we've ever seen here in Philadelphia. He's an awesome dude. I'm not taking anything away from him, but that's my point, is that we seem to overlook and conveniently overlook. Why? Because we freaking love Dawkins.
Right.
He's us.
And it gives you
he was Weapon X.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of entitlement when you're in that position. You're able to do things that other players can't, and it'll be looked at like, okay, then, so all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. It happened. Let's just keep going.
Yeah,
so,
Robinson Utley is another one. That's Bruder on the stream. That's we've had this before. We've had this dynamic before.
How about Ryan Howard too?
Yeah.
Howard, you could put Howard. You could replace Rollins with Howard. That probably works better, to be honest with you, because Rollins won the MVP. Like, that probably works better in that regard.
And there's nothing malicious about it. One guy's been given the autonomy to be and get more privilege than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just a privilege thing. Look at what I've witnessed over the years with being with the Steelers or being with any team. Of course, Ben will get more leash than maybe somebody else. It just happens. It's the nature of the beast. Even in anybody's family. Yeah. One kid is not going to be loved more than another kid. You love all kids equally.
Right. But one gets
kid
treated
will be a little more, that treatment
Yeah.
that he might get might be a little different. And that's exactly what it is.
Maybe a little bit more lenient with one
Yes.
kid than you are with the other one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like my dad was a little bit more lenient with my sister than he was with me.
Absolutely.
There you
Absolutely.
have
Great
Yes.
example.
Family
Great
dynamic
example.
always
Yes,
works, yeah.
great example.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, I think there's something to that. You know,
Yeah.
there really is something to that.
And it's not, I mean, it's not meant to be bad or malicious, but it's just, it is what it is.
Is there anything that
suck it up.
Simmons could do to change that?
What does he need to?
Right. That's the biggest thing. Does he need to?
Well, if it's an issue, I mean, if this becomes an issue, do you think this is a problem that Simmons might recognize this?
I personally don't, Barrett, I'll let you go long, but let me just say this real quick. I personally don't think it's a problem or enough of a problem where it becomes public.
Right.
This is something you hear about after the two split for whatever reason years later, where Derek Bodner or somebody covering this team, Tom Moore, comes out with something like, you know, I had this source that these two guys didn't like each other. Simmons went all on his way to do this, and B went out of his way to do. That's what I feel like it comes. I don't think Simmons, I give him credit, is really smart when it comes to handling this city.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't come out and blast people. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have this like flying off the hand. What? You're accused. He doesn't even have like this nervousness that Joe Girardi has when he's being put on the pressure cooker. Simmons just kind of laughs it off. So I think he's savvy enough to realize that if this became public, to your point, Harry, Joel Embiid is so beloved that Simmons would never get the benefit of the doubt. That's all I wanted to jump in, Barrett. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. And deservedly so. Embiid is just a better player, more dominant player right now.
Yeah, but is it all that? Because I think a lot of it has to do with his personality and the way he is. That
Another
adds
thing,
to his,
yes.
you know, the magnetism. If Ben was a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, friendly the word, or a little bit more fun,
a little bit more open to everyone else. He's not that guy. He'll never be that guy. He doesn't want to be that guy.
But that buys you more leash, you know, when things go wrong or when there's shortcomings to your game. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, it gives you more leeway.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're a nicer guy. You know, my mom used to tell me all the time, you get more with honey than you do vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it is. And Ben is not a bad guy. Ben doesn't Ben doesn't bother anybody. He doesn't say anything to anybody.
Right.
But that's, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because you're not open and not friendly to be around people. It tends to, you know, have people give you a sense of, all right, we don't know as much as we need to know about. But we know Embiid's an open book. But, you know, in both ways, same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. Because Embiid is an open book, they also take his shortcomings, like him going to, you know, Chick-fil-A and all that stuff. We're a lot harder on him, but we don't say anything about what Ben Simmons is doing. But in the same thing, Ben Simmons, we're on him about shooting, but we don't say anything about Embiid's game. We say nothing about Embiid's game,
except when he was spotted with his lady friend leaving, what was it, a Lowe's or something, a couple of weeks ago after he missed a game.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Well, that was also during that stretch of like super difficult matchups.
Yeah,
we
right.
were trying to figure out if he was, who was he trying to, who did he get that flu, the Reggie flu from? Reggie-itis? Was it Steph? Was it Steph-itis?
I think it was.
Right.
Yes.
Come on, man. Get your ass out there. What are you doing?
Right. Steph-itis.
He's at Home Depot. Right.
Yep. It was like two guys that they had to play against like that. Who else was it? It was Steph-itis and
like
one before that. Yeah.
Murderer's row. That's what I mean. And I think the time in which he got caught centered around that Steph game. And that's when we were all just like, oh, man, you kept bringing up the Reggie-itis.
Got the Curry flu.
Yeah, the Curry flu. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Jesus, man. I'm telling you, this
classic.
thing, it's hilarious. It is. But there's something to it. Now, look, I'll say as well that before we break and then wrap the hour.
And Booker was the next opponent on the.
That's right.
Yeah. Booker.
Yes.
All right, let's do that. We'll wrap the hour here on Sports Map. We're still live on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Remember, get these likes up. Hit that like button. That's the thumbs up button. Share and also subscribe. You want to be subscribed to what we're doing here from the Fritz and B and Cooley Philadelphia Law Studios and live on Sports Map Radio. Yeah, you're right.
So, man, it happens, man. It happens.
How many home runs did Cocoon hit?
Damn, the hell with Ben. He's overrated. Passive
I
aggressive.
saw that.
just like Donovan. Dang.
Oh man.
No.
5.
That's the difference, though, is that it's unfair for Simmons. Donovan just couldn't help himself. His personality just became, and it probably wasn't even all his fault, but his personality just came off so abrasive.
Yeah.
That he never got that benefit of the doubt.
And fake.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like, the voice. Remember when Kobe used to get a ton of shit because it was just so obvious that not only was he mirroring his game after Jordan, but he changed how he spoke.
Yes.
And he had this Jordan tone.
And the stuff with the lips.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Hillary was like a born and bred, Southerner after living in New York for all this time. And like all these politicians do it, like fake their accents. And that's what you had from the sports standpoint here. Where it was just like, whoa, come on. Wait.
Sometimes I wish I could do that, man, but you're just gonna get the same. That commercial will be funny for me for the rest of my life, bro. You're just gonna get Barrett, man. Barrett is what Barrett does, bro. So I can't change like that. But you look at guys like they can do that. Maybe I'll be more successful if I could. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Are you addressing someone on the stream? Barrett?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Eytan's over here talking.
Look, I'm just going to work on stuff for later. That's go ahead.
Barrett wasn't even listening to you, Eytan. He's talking to the stream.
No, you know what? Now I can work on my run sheet for the next show. So go ahead, man.
The run sheet. What's a run sheet?
Run sheet. I have to
like
set
a
up
show sheet.
Yeah, but I need to set up like what we're talking about as far as like graphics are concerned for the producer.
Oh.
So the producer can follow. You following me, camera guy?
Penguin AZ wants to know some updates on your car, your kitchen, or your table, Barrett.
Well, my kitchen has the floor down. We have half the cabinets in. They're putting in the lights right now. I just want to pick the lights up. But like I said, at Home Depot this morning, I picked the lights up. The cooler is put in. The dishwasher's put in. The oven's on back order. What else is going on? Like I said, all the floors are already down. They rewired a lot of the stuff that's in the kitchen. So, I mean, it's going well. I'm still without a kitchen. I've been living like a Viking, for the past 3 weeks, man, 3.5 weeks. I actually bought from what do you call it? From Amazon, this thing that I put on my deck, and it runs to the hose where I have water that I can at least wash dishes.
Like an aqueduct?
No, it's a table with a sink on it.
Oh,
which I can wash dishes and stuff, at least wash stuff off.
Do you wash the dishes in the house? Because I do here.
I wash when I cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I cook, I definitely do.
This is The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, so final couple of minutes here. We've got overtime coming your way next at the top of the hour. And that's pretty much it for today, man.
Well, I got a poll question up on sided.co, my buddy Scott Kaplan's website, the poll website. Can the Sixers advance past Atlanta without Joel Embiid? And thus far, it's 55% say no.
I'm not good with that. I think they can. But my glass is always half full. What'd you say?
It's not going to be easy, he said. I agree.
No.
It's not going to be easy.
No, not at all.
And, here's the thing. Let's just get through game one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying like, the poll is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I think people need to realize that, or I think people just need to see who Atlanta is. They're not a terrible team. The rest of the Eastern Conference had like this second tier where it was Atlanta, the Knicks, we thought Boston. But in hindsight, I think the second tier was really just only Atlanta. And the Knicks and Boston and Washington were in that third tier. And then you just had a bunch of slop.
Yeah.
pile
Charlotte.
of feces.
Yeah.
I don't, but when I look at even when I look at this Hawks team, I mean, I know what you're saying, Shan. You're saying that that when you look at their roster, I don't see the same. I know the Wizards. I like the Wizards roster more than I like the Atlanta Hawks roster.
Really?
They had two viable superstars.
Well, they have two possible Hall of Famers. Two of them, probably.
But if you look at this Hawks team, to me, the Hawks team is more basic as far as how to defend them than going out against this Washington team.
Barrett, they've got the leading rebounder in the league. How do you stop that without Joel Embiid?
They had a leading guard rebounder in the league.
Oh, no, he just led the team in rebounds. Look at you trying to. I got to be honest. That was beautiful. We're back at 30.
Football in Philadelphia is a lifestyle, a passion from birth, and a personal responsibility to know the game. Boo when necessary. And think about Eagles! Every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Birds 365 was created for you. Jody Mack, the legendary sports talker, joins forces with NFL insider John McMullen. Birds 365. Start your morning with Johnny Mack and Jody Mack across the JAKIB Media Network. Watch it live on YouTube.
Thanks. Overtime on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Get a couple of minutes here on whatever you may want. I will say, as far as tonight is concerned, I'm really, 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 really tempted to just take the Suns in this. I part of me, it's a short line. LA is only laying 2 at home, but no Anthony Davis. I don't know how they get around that.
Is he out?
He's a game time decision, but I don't know how. I just don't think he plays tonight. No, good news.
Wow.
You have a long, long time, so that's fine. Don't you kind of feel a Portland win tonight?
Yeah, I do.
5 points on the line.
And then a game 7. Yeah.
Yeah. This has game 7 written all over it. Absolutely.
Yep.
I feel like
we kind of thought the same thing against. We said the same thing as the Hawks. You're right, man. I mean, Portland, man, they could pull it out their hat, man. But I think eventually they do lose. But still, though, man. I mean,
you imagine this Denver team if they had Murray.
Ridiculous. They're no. You know what, Harry?
Yeah.
I know it's a hypothetical because he's not coming back. But if they have Jamal Murray, they are definitively the best team in the West.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about
it's
that.
Close, like playoff wise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Who is that coach out there?
Well, Mike Malone?
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
For Denver? Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't changed. Right.
Yeah, I just never even knew. I just never even thought about the coach. Whoever he is doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, I mean, he is, what would you call it?
Without Murray, I mean, to be this good without that'd be like, the Sixers going through the playoffs, or through that half of the season without Simmons and just being that good.
Harry, I'd even say like a combination of Harris and Simmons. Now, he's not nearly as good of a defender as Simmons is, but damn it, that dude is as good of a scorer.
Oh, yeah.
99%. I mean, there's always going to be 2 guys or 3 guys, but Jamal Murray is firepower.
Yeah.
Complete game, man. Defensively, offensively, aggressive. He's a rebounder. He can do a lot that a lot of these guards can't do. He's more so the total package.
But that Aaron Gordon acquisition was big, man. That was
so big because they didn't realize how much they needed him until Murray went down.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I remember when they did it. Remember we talked about it, and we kind of let it just wash over, man. But look how good he's become in that system. So I don't know, man.
There's something to that where you're trying to figure out this team and how good this team can be and all. And it's just, you look at the absence of Jamal Murray. No, LA's dealing with that. LA's dealing with an absence of one of their top 2 guys, the Lakers.
Yep.
And it's crushed them. It's gutted them. We know this here. Joel Embiid, look, they got by an 8 seed last night. Great. They moved on, but it hasn't been easy the last game and a half without Joel Embiid on the floor. And that is a credit, I think, to Michael Malone and to Jokic and to Michael Porter Jr., who has done a fantastic that kid.
Kid from Mizzou. He came out, he was hurt.
Yep.
Porter.
Right.
Yeah.
He was hurt when he first came out.
And that was a big thing. He dropped.
Yeah. He was supposed to be the number 1 pick.
Yep.
Easily.
Yeah.
No, I think
now you can see why.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. How did he get to Missouri? How many paper bags of cash had to go his way to him to go to Missouri?
Bruh.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You know, I mean,
it though?
Yeah, man.
It was more money than it took Barrett to go to Kansas State. I can tell you that.
There was no money, but man, I got a free waterbed and a scooter.
Up, right? You could let us know how much cash you got.
Well, I mean, I've been out about school now.
Blue chips. I need $300,000. I need a Ford truck. I need a farm for my mother. Make sure you got all this in here. Bro, you're doing that.
No, bro. I went to Kansas State, man. I did get a waterbed. I got a twin size waterbed and a Honda Elite 250 scooter that I didn't have a license on, and that's what I got when I got to Kansas State.
Take us through the process. A lot of people don't realize this, right? A lot of people don't understand how this.
A waterbed,
right?
Take us through the process of you demanding a waterbed, and then who gave it to you? It wasn't the coach. They always make sure that there are 3 or 4 stitches removed. Did you just wake up one day in your dorm and you saw that there was a waterbed delivered? Like, how did this whole take us, Barrett? Take us from the inception in your brain of I want a waterbed to you laying on the waterbed.
Right.
Well, it was more so. It was more so you meet alumni to get you out there when you go for your recruiting visit, and it just so happened one of the alumni that wanted me there the most was owned a bedding place, a mattress place, and he wanted me there.
Right.
And then another guy, he owned it was actually it was a car lot. And I said, look, man, I need something, man. He gave me a scooter.
Gave you a scooter? So he had cars and he gave you a scooter.
Scooter.
What?
This goes to show my worth, man, at Kansas State, man. I wasn't a big time. I guess I wasn't a big time prospect.
Did they throw sheets in for the waterbed? I need some sheets. Actually, 2 sets of sheets.
Because they wouldn't fit. The regular ones wouldn't fit, bro.
Yeah, you need special sheets for that. I had one.
Well, who do you call for that? Do you have to go back to the alumni or the alumni?
Oh, man. I don't even remember at this point, man. Right? But, I mean, that's the kind of stuff, but I can remember, like, watching Oklahoma and, like I said, when they were beating us so bad, they came out at halftime and they had fur coats on with diamond earrings and, all that kind of stuff, man. I took recruiting visits to places where, like I went to Illinois for a recruiting visit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get stuff on the visit?
Oh, yeah, you get, gear and stuff like that. But I can remember, and I was watching a couple of Illini basketball players had Typhoons. Typhoons were those Blazers, those mini Blazers that had to supercharge them. They supercharged them. Yep. They all had Typhoons. The starting 5 had Typhoons. I'm like, man, you guys are living a life.
I don't know what a Typhoon is.
It's
Typhoon is a Blazer, small Blazer that's a race car.
It's like it's like a rich man's Suzuki, right? Like a sidekick.
Yeah, and they were fast, man. Fast, supercharged and everything.
I think for a time cops had them.
Yep.
Yeah, right? Like I remember because there were a couple of like smaller areas outside of Nashville that still had like a couple of the old cruisers, like those old Dodge ones. And I remember I thought it was a sidekick. I was like, damn, the cops are in sidekicks down here. But it was that because it was scooped the hell up.
But yeah, I got a Honda Elite scooter, man. I can remember it could be rain, sleet, or snow. I'd be on that scooter, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Ice on the ground. I'm going to practice in that damn scooter. But that's what I had. Then I left the scooter there. I had it for you. I left the scooter there. Mm-hmm. And I promise you, for a year and a half, I was getting tickets from Kansas State University.
Oh, I'm sure.
From football players using the scooter and just leaving it somewhere and getting tickets on it.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Are those tickets still unpaid?
Oh, they paid. I paid them.
Oh, they're paid.
Yeah,
wow.
I could afford to pay them then.
Wow. I'd have sent that bill to the football building.
You know what? I
see ya.
The last couple I did, I sent it to him. I sent it to Coach Schneider. Coach Schneider, man, you got to get that scooter. and, put that scooter somewhere or have somebody put it in their name because I'm steady getting tickets for it. So he took care of it for me. Yeah, he took care of it for it eventually. Yeah, man. I was like, "Hey, coach, I hate to do it to you, but I don't want any more tickets, man."
I could just picture the mattress company's truck pulling up out in front of Barrett's apartment, and Barrett's roommate's like, "Yo, man, whose truck is it? There's a truck outside. Some guy's at the door. We got a waterbed for Barrett Brooks."
A twin size waterbed too, man.
What's the most outside of the waterbed? What's the most ridiculous thing that a teammate of yours ever got? And not like lavish. I'm sure somebody got a ton of money or a super nice car or something like that. But just something where you went over to that guy and was like, "Dude, you don't need that. You don't need that."
It was like my last year, and we had a guy that he's actually from this area, man, that had a herringbone gold chain, bro. It was ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm like, yo,
like 6.5 figures right there.
Right. This herringbone was at least it was probably like a $10,000 chain, man, and he had it, bro. I was like, yo, you tripping, man. Kansas State is doing it like that. Because when I first got to Kansas State, it was nothing there. It was like we were playing on, in the parking lot, man. That's how hard the turf was. It's like playing on cement.
Wow.
As time got better, the facilities got better. Even the indoor, they were building the indoor. I helped build my last year there. I helped build the indoor. I wasn't building it, but I was sweeping, up the junk, it's a summer job. They were paying me, but it was like, all right, well, we want you to sweep here. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to sweep.
Wow.
But I can remember building the indoor for that place, man. It was amazing.
So your guy went herringbone over the Cuban links.
Yeah.
Only built for Cuban links.
It was crazy, man.
It's a shame.
Ricky Fowler tied for 7th. There's a weather delay.
Oh,
apparently.
I love it.
But he's 3 under through 14. Colin Morikawa leads at 6 under through 15, but they're in a delay.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good bet. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we're back Friday. We'll see. Do you guys want Parles tomorrow or what?
I hate to do it to you, but
no, you guys are saying no to
no, I'm not saying no to Parles. I mean, I think him and the guy up in Boston would be good.
All right, well, let's check everybody down then. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do all of that and ask you to just do one thing on your way out, hit the like button, and then just enjoy your day. It's the Member.
Football in Philadelphia is a lifestyle, a passion from birth, and a personal responsibility to know the game. Boo when necessary. And think about EAGLES! Every second of every minute of every hour of every day. Birds 365 was created for you. Jody Mack, the legendary sports talker, joins forces with NFL insider John McMullen. Birds 365. Start your morning with Johnny Mack and Jody Mack across the JAKIB Media Network. Watch it live on YouTube.